All right. This is the first Hornets Hoops pregame show brought to you by Inside the Nest here at J. Tom Zachary Court, home of your Roswell Hornets. Sorry if the lighting kind of sucks. This is the first time we've ever done something like this. But the Hornets get set to do basketball battle with the Cambridge Bears. Sorry if it's halftime here during the JV game, but doesn't mean that won't stop your Roswell Hornets from securing their 8th victory of the season. So this game, Hornets coming off a loss to, I believe, Lassiter. Yes, Lassiter, 60-51. Chase Jackson had another outstanding game as he continues this phenomenal freshman season, and Trey Phillips keeps this team humming along. Key tonight is do what you did last time against Cambridge. You can take advantage of some of their, I'd call it their youth, let's say. Again, sorry, the lighting's so bad. We're working this out, guys. To all of you who will hopefully be joining me here. I am John Schneider, your host of Inside the Nest, and this is the Hornets Hoops pregame show. We'll continue on with this here in a moment. I have to take a quick sip of water. Now, the Cambridge Bears are riding high coming into this game following their victory over the North Spring Spartans, putting a season-high 70 points up on them, 70-47. Now, again, Roswell loves to run a lot of screens, specifically in this how Coach Phillips runs his offense. I know this because of I was too in freshman camp trying to make this basketball team, but so we're broadcasting them. It's awesome. I love doing it. So you get Willis Campbell back. You get all the football players back, and Hudson Rockhill and Ian Faust. And that's huge. Adds a lot more size as we enter the back half of the stretch of this season as we head along in February and hopefully state playoffs for this team. Again, much like tonight, you're going to be looking for Will Vogler. You're going to be looking for number 1. You're looking for number 2, Chase Jackson, having, like I said earlier, a phenomenal freshman season. The dude averages around 20 points a game as a freshman. It's pretty crazy. And shown the lights haven't been too bright for him. There hasn't really been a game where he hasn't really contributed. And, I mean, what can you say about Trey Phillips? The dude's a walking bucket at this point. Having Willis Campbell's back, again, adds more size. Cuts to him on for football, committing to Georgia Tech. I know it's pretty loud here, but other than that, key players look out. I mean, there are, like I mentioned earlier, there is some youth on this Cambridge team, several sophomores. I mean, and a freshman, so you compare it to Roswell, to our squad. Really, outside of Chase Jackson and Hudson Rockhill, there's not that much youth on there. And Chase Jackson, if he's playing like a 3-year season vet, if you will, here. I know it's high school, but still, he's playing like he's a junior or a senior. He's contributed at that high of a level. And I think if you were to talk to Coach Lash or Coach Phillips, you get the same answer from them as well. I interviewed Trey Phillips earlier, heading into their game against Gainesville at the start of the year, back in November. I think for them, getting from what I got from him, this team kind of runs how – it wasn't stated directly. This team kind of runs pretty much through the 3 players of Vogler, Jackson, and Phillips. They got good bench depth here with Clay Wilson, Blake Lumsden, and Willis Campbell, obviously, as the start of the second half. Yeah. Sorry about that. But that's pretty much the sum of the parts here. And if you want to point to the last game against Cambridge here, let's pull up Max Preps real quick. Sorry. not the cleanest stream, but we do it. We do the original here on the Hornets Hoops pregame show, brought to you by Inside the Nest. Going back to their last game against Cambridge, Hornets won 73-60. Hornets can put up some points. They do need to bounce back and hold the defense. Defense does need to improve. They've been giving up around 55 points a game, and in high school basketball, that's typically not a recipe for success. But yeah, see if I can pull up this last game against Cambridge that we had. David Aiken and his coaching staff will have. I don't know if you all have watched one of my previous game previews for football, in which we talked about Walton and how they had that Peacock brothers. These guys have a triplet of brothers, not say triplet, but a trio of brothers, and the Higdon brothers, Carter Higdon Sr., number 15. They get a lot of boards. Jordan Higdon, number 33. And Blake Higdon, number 50. They average around 7 rebounds a game on the glass, so they get on the glass fast and early. So making sure to be able to get rebounds is going to be huge in this game. Obviously, typically when it comes down to basketball, is a game of runs, right? Good rebounds contribute to that, whether it be an offensive rebound, taking it back in transition. But we'll get this game kicked off, started here soon. Yeah, it's a little awkward. First pregame show I've hosted, but we're doing pretty well. Now, with Cambridge, they're 7-8 entering the year. They do have Carter Higdon, leader in points. Is their leader in points, averaging around almost 19 points per game, and shooting from the 3-point stripe at a pretty good 44%. Now, and he leads Region 6 of 4A in points per game. Again, Higdon brothers, there will be an emphasis on this game for Coach Phillips and how they prepare for them. The key, again, just get Chase Jackson going early. Same for Trey Phillips, same for Will Vogler, Webb Bippis as well. And Wills Campbell, you got to crash the boards, obviously. How well you play in transition will also heavily affect this game. I know now we're kind of going silent. We're out of halftime now, so y'all could probably hear me more. So, doing pretty good here. Let's go back to this real quick. Now, again, Jordan Higdon, 8.5 points per game. And then Christian Frazier, point guard and shooting guard for him, averaging around 15 points a game himself, 38% from the free-throw line, but still shooting over 40%. They got some shooters on this team, and they're not afraid to let it fly. So junior varsity game going on right now. Caden Jackson with a bucket. Not a bad stream for our first time here on the Hornets Hoops pregame show. For us, I think try and get to 8-8 tonight, improve your record in the state, and hopefully bump up some state rankings in the Max Preps. That would be nice tonight. Keep in check and in tune with Inside the Nest for all game coverage for Hornets basketball. And we will see you here soon after the game with the Hornets post-game show, hopefully with some post-game interviews with some of tonight's star players and coaches as well. Hoping for a Hornets win. Josh Schneider for Inside the Nest and the Hornets Hoops pregame show. Talk to you later, everybody.